And now it's time for Judge Joe Brown. He's the real deal in the courtroom today.
So when I used to call a friend, stuck me with her rent and phone bills the moment she fell in love.
I'm not paying for her boyfriend to live for free in a place I'm not even at.
A woman chasing love leaves her friend behind on the rent. Plaintiff Tiffany Wiley is suing her friend for rent and a cell phone bill. Defendant Tacharo Jackson says she won't pay for an apartment she's not living in. Now, here's Judge Joe Brown.
You first. You have the burden of proof.
I moved up here in November of 06.
Where is here?
I moved to Ohio in November
Fairborn.
of 06. And Tacharo wanted to move
Dayton,
from...
is that right?
Yes, sir.
Dayton, okay. That's the county. Go ahead.
Tacharo wanted to move from Alabama up to Ohio with me. So I allowed her to move in with me.
And by the way, I take it you two had been acquainted with each other for some period of time?
We've been friends for 11 years.
Okay.
And she didn't have a job when she got up here, so I paid for all of our rent for the place that we were living in. I paid for the rent. I paid for the utilities.
How many months?
For about 8 months.
You paid the rent and the utilities?
I paid rent, utilities, her food, her clothes, everything for her to basically live the whole while we were here.
Let me ask you a question. Are you a student or something?
No, sir.
So you were unemployed during this entire period of time that she's talking about, or do you have a different contention?
She asked me to come up and stay with her, even though she knew I didn't have a job.
Well, she said she knew you didn't have a job.
I know. I'm saying she asked me.
So you stayed there for 8 months with no rent?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you still in the same place?
No, she got, because her name wasn't on the lease, they signed a restraining order saying that she could not come to the house.
That's because you were on the air base and base housing didn't allow that.
Yes, sir. So she didn't have the money to get her own place. So I went and put my name on another apartment with her while still having to pay for this other place because she didn't have anywhere to live. And we signed this lease in September. I think it was August 25th. We had to pay a prorated rent because we had to hurry up and move. And she met her boyfriend. Everything was going fine until she met her new boyfriend at the beginning of November. And when she met her boyfriend, they decided they wanted to get engaged by Thanksgiving. So she had started staying at his mom's house in the basement, and at first she was still bringing me her half of the rent. She brought me the rent for December. She brought me the rent for January. She paid her half of the bills. Well, I gave her my half of the bills, and she went and kept my half and only put $20 on one bill, $50 on one bill, and I caught her with it in January.
So you gave her the money to cover your share, but she didn't apply it to the obligation?
No, sir.
And didn't put anything up herself?
I did pay it,
No,
Your Honor.
sir.
I did pay it.
I have the proof of the bills where she only paid $50 on one bill and $20 on another bill.
And when I got my next check, I paid it.
Why are you talking over her? You're going to get your time. So hold your point. Go ahead.
And I found out that she had kept my share of the bill money in January. So I let her know that from now on, she would give me her half and I would go and pay it since she was keeping my part of the money. And she got mad about that and said her car needs to be fixed, so she's not going to give me the money for the bills when they come back out again. And she hasn't been staying there for at least 30 days, so she's not going to give me the rent. And because I let my boyfriend stay over all the time and she doesn't like him, she's not going to give me the rent when this is her friend first. My boyfriend was her friend, and she introduced me to him. But since
she introduced you to him?
Yes, sir. He was her friend first.
She wasn't Jay, was she?
She introduced me to him after they had become friends, and because it made her upset that I wanted her to pay these, I found out that she was keeping my money and made her give me her side of the money. She got upset and said, well, if she got to pay it, then she doesn't want him there anymore, and all of a sudden she didn't like him then, this friend of hers. But first, all of a sudden she didn't like him anymore, so that's why she wasn't going to pay.
Oh, okay. You have a copy of the lease, I see it says.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see that, and also copies of payments for February and March, the no contact order, the cell phone charges, and also you claim there was some damages.
She wasn't a part of the damage, but the only reason why she knew that he was over all the time was because I told her that his house was having a problem.
Oh, his house was having a problem. That's why he was there
over
with you.
my house all the time.
You might as well come on up. You might as well come on up too, because I'm going to go back to each of you. All right, let me take a look at this. And I think you've made out a basic case. Your turn. You have the floor.
Okay, y'all.
I'll say you.
It's not that I don't like Drew. He was cool. I was talking to his friend, but
You said you couldn't stand him.
no,
That's what you.
I did. It's not that I don't like him. It's just that when
you
I'm
just
at the
can't
house,
stand him. That's what you say.
when I'm at the house, he just got to pick at me. That's what made me get to that point with him.
When are you going to get your hair done?
Say little stuff like that, or you nasty, or stuff like that, and I can't stand to be around it.
Well, he's telling you need to get your hair done, and
No,
you
he
were nasty.
picked at me. She even got on to him about picking at me. She even got on to him about picking at me because she told me she got on to him about picking at me. That's why I didn't want to be there.
Your Honor,
She
that's
said
not
that's
true.
why Char don't come around.
What's this all about? Why'd you move out?
I can't. Drew, he get on my nerves, and then
He gets on your nerve.
he was staying there, Your Honor.
What do you call staying there?
Living there, bring all your clothes, get all your stuff out of your house and move into there.
That's not true.
That is true, Your Honor, because his
Andrew
house,
stays
his
the
house
night,
is what you call it? The bank finna take it from him. He is staying there, Your Honor. He
They're
stopped
getting ready to foreclose. Are you buying the house?
Yeah, but I'm in the process of actually selling it now.
So,
He's-
okay, you are the homeowner.
Yes, sir.
It's getting foreclosed, Your Honor.
We'll be right back with Judge Joe Brown.
She said, ain't no need of you coming back here. She said, ain't no need of you come back here. You might as well stay where you at long as you have my rent on the first.
Why should she pay?
You can't.
I ain't paying for nothing.
And later today,
So he had asked me if I would loan him the money, and at first I was like, there's no way that I can do that because I've been working since I was a sophomore and I've been saving up money to go to school.
I, Amber Twitchell, is loaning. I, Amber Twitchell. What's the right tense?
Loaning. Or
it's Joe time after this.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The defendant in this case says she was okay living with the plaintiff. It was her boyfriend she had an issue with. She says he made comments she didn't appreciate, so when she had the opportunity to move in with her new boyfriend, she did. Let's take a look.
When did you tell her that you were going to leave?
December, around that time, me and Walt got engaged.
Oh, you got engaged, and you say, in your words, I went to stay with my boyfriend's place, and at that point you say, since I wasn't staying there, why should I pay?
And then she put me out, Your Honor.
How'd she put you
She
out?
said, and I quote, she said, ain't no need of you coming back here. She said, ain't no need of you come back here. You might as well stay where you at long as you have my rent on the first. It said,
That's all well and good. Why'd you sign this?
because I wanted to have somewhere to stay at the time.
So you
I
wanted
didn't know I was
somewhere
gonna
else.
get
How old are you?
engaged. 19.
Why do you think that let you off of the lease? Just
did.
because you found love?
No, that's
Sounds like a song.
that's not it, Your Honor. I
Sounds
just
like
had no say-so about what goes on there, so I'm like, why keep paying rent if I have no say-so about who come and who goes?
Why do you say you have no say-so?
Because when I said I didn't want Drew there, even though he had a house, so
Well,
he
what
safe.
about him? Did he ever come visit?
Yes, he did.
This one?
He did, but he never spent the night.
You went and spent the night there.
Exactly.
Okay? And
So
there's
you go
other
spend
people-
the night there, Miss
Okay.
18-year-old at the time. Who's supposed to pay this almost $500 a month on your behalf after spending 8 to 9 months of letting you live someplace rent-free?
That's because the military was paying for it anyway.
So you're staying courtesy of the U.S. government.
And sir, the military did not pay for that house. I paid $797 rent for that
They
house.
give
You
Yeah.
brought
and
that a
utilities.
subsidy or a
They
discount
give
on
you-
it. Base housing. She's paying it, so why should she pay?
I don't even see what the problem is about that,
You
because she
don't.
knew all this before.
You don't.
Before
1,
I
2,
came
3,
up
4,
here.
5, 6, 7,
She
8,
knew
9
all
months. You don't pay a dime and you're upset because you are going to say, I couldn't stand her boyfriend, whom I introduced her to, because he was my friend, and he got on me saying I was nasty and I needed to get my hair done, comb my hair. You know, somebody's complaining about your hygiene, that gets a little rough.
It wasn't even that. He just was picking at me.
That's
Little
picking
stuff.
at you because you're nasty?
Wasn't that
You
wrong?
need to get your hair done, comb it. What's the matter with you?
Wasn't that
Brush
wrong?
your hair?
I did, Your Honor. He just, I don't know, I guess he didn't even want me
Hanging
there.
around all day because you don't have a job, and he's sitting here with her. So you're sitting there, she's working, she's in the Air Force, you're in the air conditioning. You get the nice, comfy couch, watching TV, laid back all day, don't get up, go look for a gig, and he's, you know, upset because she's upset that you don't have employment.
I was working when he was staying at the house.
But that's okay about the 9 months before that. By the way, what about the cell phone? Why should she pay for your cell phone?
I didn't tell her to pay all of it. I just figured we...
Wait a minute. You didn't tell her to pay all of it.
I just
What's
figured-
supposed to happen, young lady?
I just
You
figured-
sign on a dotted line and say, hey, I'm letting my homegirl use my cell phone.
I didn't-
Yak, 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 and I'm going to take care of the bill, whatever it is.
We always pay half of the phone bill, Your
But
Honor.
you didn't.
But when... She ain't even gave me time to.
What do you mean time to?
Your
The
Honor.
bill comes, the bill's got to get paid.
She ain't even gave me time to
Wait a
pay-
minute, how much
to
time
pay
do
for
you
the-
need? $739?
Your Honor, I said that I think that we should pay half of the phone bill. Since when one of us go
It's
over...
itemized, that's your mouth running. Why should she pay off
But
half
when
of what
one
you
of us
ran
go
your mouth
over,
off
it
for?
don't matter who go over,
That
Your
doesn't make
Honor.
sense to
We
me.
still pay
Get
half
him
of
to pay, that's your boyfriend.
Your Honor, no matter who goes over, we still pay half
You
of
two
the
ain't got
phone
nothing
bill.
strange going on
But-
with each other, you two ladies. If you ain't, then get your boyfriend to pay. Why should she pay?
You can't.
I ain't paying for nothing.
Well, there you go.
If that's her fiance.
Why should she?
For
You know,
her,
hey.
He ain't gonna pay for nothing dealing with her. But anything else I want, he get. But he ain't gonna pay for nothing
okay.
dealing
Well,
with her.
tell you what, you need some correction. Now, you have an opinion, you have an opinion, I have an opinion. But guess what? The only one that makes any difference in here is, ta-da-da, yours truly. So, you get your award, $1,664, and the court goes.
Thank you, Your
And by
Honor.
the way, grow up a little bit. That's not right.
And this courtroom is now in recess. The defendant may have been teased and she may have been bickering with her roommate, but she signed a contract and those reasons aren't serious enough to quit paying rent. She'll do that now. Now, we're on to the next case.
Please raise your right hand.
Customer service representative Amber Twitchell is suing her former boyfriend for a guitar amp. Defendant Logan Vandehei says he was harassed.
Let's see, you're 18 and you're 18.
Yes.
You first, tell me about it.
Okay, so on August 6th, after he'd asked me probably like a week or so before, he kept asking me, you know, I really need money for this guitar amp. He'd ask his mom.
Why?
He had one, but he wanted this one, and it was on retail for like $2,000, something around there. And it was a really good brand, but
Oh, it was on sale.
no, he was buying it from a guy that he knew.
Oh, okay.
And so he had asked me if I would loan him the money, and at first I was like, there's no way that I can do that because, you know, I've been working since I was a sophomore, and I've been saving up money to go to school.
Sophomore in high school, not college.
Yeah, no, high school.
Yes.
I've been working
We're
so
only
I can...
18 right now, right?
Yes. I've been working so that I can save up money for school. I want to go to school. I'm actually going in the fall to be an engineer.
You good at math?
Yes.
All right, improve your verbal skills.
Okay.
You must learn to write. There's some grammatical problems with the promissory note. All right, now, it's not I, Amber Twitchell, is loaning. I, Amber Twitchell, what's the right tense?
M. loaning. Or
We'll be back with more Judge Joe Brown in a moment.
How did she coerce you into signing it?
It really was just a lot of harassment. I would get phone calls on my house phone at 3 in the morning, and it had to get to the point that we had to take our phones off the hook in the middle of the night so that she couldn't call to wake everyone up. I told her that I'd pay her back just so she would leave me alone.
It's time for our question of the week. We want to hear from you. Should the city fine a homeowner who doesn't cut their lawn? Let us know. Call 1-888-77-JUDGE. Your answer could appear on Judge Joe Brown next Thursday, and you'll receive a free offer. Call now, toll free, 1-888-77-JUDGE.
Closed captioning sponsored by.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The defendant in this case says the plaintiff started calling at all hours of the night for her money. He says he only signed the note in question to get the plaintiff off his back. Let's take a look.
How did she coerce you into signing it?
It really was just a lot of harassment. I would get phone calls on my house phone at 3 in the morning, and it had to get to the point that we had to take our phones off the hook in the middle of the night so that she couldn't call to wake everyone up. I told her that I'd pay her back just so she would leave me alone pretty much.
Well, why did you pay her $170?
Because I started paying her back because I was just trying to get it done and over with, trying to be a nice guy.
When did you first start paying her?
I started paying her, I think the first check was, the first one right here that I have is from August 31st.
Well, when did this harassment occur?
Probably sometime before that.
Sometime after what?
Sometime after we had broken up.
When did you break up?
But we had been broken up since February, and then we had continued to be friends, and then it wasn't until...
Well, I mean, if you paid her the first check sometime toward the end of August, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, how does that happen to be the product of harassment?
I just wanted her to leave me alone, so I started paying her
But you
money.
broke up in February.
We were friends after this, and then...
Well, no. Let's take your timeline. You only paid the $170 to end the harassment. The agreement says she will be getting $250 to $300 every 2 weeks. You don't break up until February. The harassment does not occur until after February. You've already paid, as agreed, $170 toward this advance. And guess what? That corroborates her assertion. This says that you're obligated. This promissory note reflects that, or this one reflects that, and you pay in accordance with the agreement. Why do you pay $170 prior to the alleged harassment that you sought to stop by agreeing to the promissory note? It doesn't wash.
Judge Joe Brown makes his ruling after this.
Again, we want to hear from you. Our question of the week is, should the city fine a homeowner who doesn't cut their lawn? Let us know. Call 1-888-77-JUDGE to give us your view. Your answer could appear on Judge Joe Brown next Thursday, and you'll receive a free offer. Call toll-free 1-888-77-JUDGE now.
Did a former lover wreck your life and your credit? Call 877-JOE'S-LAW or visit JudgeJoeBrown.com.
So wouldn't you feel better if you improved your karma by taking care of your obligations, particularly since this was for a luxury item? Perhaps we ought to just consider the musician's interest as a hobby. I guess you're not saving up to go to college like she is.
No.
No, what are you going to do?
I have no idea yet. I was planning on taking over the family business, and then that went downhill.
Well, you know what? Adversity sharpens the mind. So let's give you a little focus right now. $730 annual cost.
thank you.
That will be something for you to concentrate on.
And this courtroom is now in recess. Sir, go ahead and exit.
The defendant in this case tried to argue that he was bullied into signing that contract, and after he was bullied, he was harassed. Paying her back should end all that. We'll be right back. We're back with Question of the Week. We asked viewers, if your neighbor's dog was barking constantly, would you call animal control? Most viewers decided that they would. Here's what one viewer had to say.
I would definitely call the animal control people, because sometimes neighbors need a wake-up call. They are inconsiderate a lot of times when they own pets.